So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, there was a 1 segment backstage where we see Renee Paquette interviewing Hangman Adam Page. Adam Page was talking about, well, Renee was like saying that you was very vague in your interview last week, so I'm going to ask you again and all that stuff. And Hangman was talking about, like, he felt bad when he did to John Moxley, but he said he's going to do it again in Ohio. He's going to take him out. So yeah, that's what Adam Page said. And then Willa Yuta comes up interrupting him, and he goes like, well, John Moxley's not, fine tonight, but he will be when he come back in Ohio. And he goes like, you know what? I challenge you in a match again on Rampage, and Adam Page accepts. So yeah, they got a match on Rampage now. But then we get to the next match. It was Bryan Danielson versus 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, Brian Cage with Prince Nana at ringside. And it was an okay one-on-one match. It was going back and forth and everything. Bryan Danielson was doing pretty good. Brian Cage was doing good as well. He was going back and forth, like I said. Bryan Danielson was beating Cage down. Starts laying in some kicks to the chest onto him and hits a big roundhouse kick onto him upside the head. Pins him, but Cage barely kicking out too. Danielson was trying to lift up his other arm, but he couldn't lift it up. Trying to lift up Cage's arm. And then Danielson eventually somehow got ankle locked onto Brian Cage. Brian Cage fought out of that. Then Bryan Danielson was trying to hit the Psycho knee onto Cage, but Cage catches him in the air, power bombs him into the corner, which almost looks pretty damn dangerous right there. And then he grabs him again, hits another power bomb onto him, but on the mat. And then he lifts him up again for another power bomb, but Danielson rolls over, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Bryan Danielson defeated Brian Cage tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. It was back and forth and everything, so yeah, really good. But then after the match ended, we see Brian Cage attack Bryan Danielson after the match, beating him down and stuff. The AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF comes walking down, telling Cage to throw Danielson out the ring. He throws him out the ring. MJF grabs a steel chair, tells Cage to put it around his arm. He puts it around Bryan Danielson's arm and runs him into the ring post, laying him out. And then MJF got Cage to throw Danielson back into the ring. MJF gets it back in there, starts beating down Bryan Danielson. He grabs a steel chair, puts it around his arm. He climbs up the second turnbuckle, about to jump off onto the arm, but then Konosuke Takeshita comes down, scaring off MJF. He quickly got out of the ring and he starts going at it. Brian Cage, saving Bryan Danielson. Cage was doing pretty good against Konosuke, but Konosuke hits a jumping knee to the face, taking him out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened. Pretty good stuff though for that match. And what happened after the match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it, or 3.5. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. But next we're going to be seeing Toni Storm versus Ruby Soho 101 up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then.